I'm going to start off by first thanking our wonderful friend Madi, who without him today there would be no video and no slideshow because I couldn't get my own computer to work. So thanks, Madi, so much. We're going to start off. I'm just going to do a short video. This is a video shot from a tour that I did earlier this spring, but just kind of gives you a little demonstration of a little bit more high energy music that we do. Thanks, Madi. So about me, so I'm very passionate about music. It's been a huge part of my life since I was a younger guy, about age 13. So got into music growing up in a town up on the Sunshine Coast. That's where I'm from, Seashell, British Columbia. This is a panoramic view from Mount Daniel, if you've ever been to the Pender Harbor area. Beautiful little hike. And that's our son. So growing up there, this was a town through, the 80s and 90s, didn't have a rec center, didn't have a theater, didn't have a lot of those types of things that you would find in a larger urban setting. And so my buddies and I, having music was a huge outlet for us, and probably kept me from taking other paths that were perhaps not so productive. But in any case, some of my earlier tastes in music include, metal and, what else would you expect in a logging kind of community? But at this, fast forward, 25 years, 30 years actually, and my tastes have greatly broadened. So at this stage of my life, I have broad taste in music, so a lot of what I do is jazz, but I also have taste in rock and roll, reggae, classical music, etc. This is where we live. This is a view from Horseshoe Bay. You might recognize it. And I did not take this picture, but that is a real image from Horseshoe Bay. So where we live in West Vancouver, we're very active in the outdoors. This is a picture of my son, my wife, who is here, Krista, and us. We're up in that picture on the left, up in Whistler, and so we like to hike and partake in outdoor adventures such as mountain biking and skiing, etc. So as far as personal achievements and that sort of thing, one thing that I'm very proud of is 3 years ago I released my very first album as a band leader entitled Tempest Fugit, and that's an image from the cover on the side. And also on the right there, that's an image of, you might recognize, I was walking across the Brooklyn Bridge. So why was I there? Well, I went to New York on a BC Arts Council grant to go study with a very famous drummer named Kenny Washington. You might not know that name, but he works with people like Tony Bennett and many, many other jazz greats. And so in 2017, I received a grant to go study with him, which was fantastic. Some past experiences earlier on in my career, I worked on cruise ships, performing in all corners of the tropics. So this image here on the left was from an island in French Polynesia called Huahine, which is very close to Bora Bora. You might recognize that name. And that's my happy place. I hope to get back there very soon. And the image on the right is a wonderful musician I used to tour with. I toured with for about 3 years. His name's Russell Jackson. Mr. Jackson was the bassist with B.B. King for 7 years, so I had a great opportunity to mentor under him. Just a little story about touring with Russell Jackson. One of the most epic journeys I ever did was actually traveling from Buffalo, New York to Flagstaff, Arizona in one go, driving, which is 2,200 miles, in case you're wondering. And then we arrived. So in other words, I saw the Niagara Falls and then the Grand Canyon all in the same 4 days. So, but then I arrived and we actually stayed in a haunted hotel. That's no joke. So I'll tell you more at the time. And so, what do we do? So, there's mostly as a performer these days in different realms that I work in. A lot of it tends to be in corporate settings, corporate events, weddings, and that sort of thing. Here's an image from a event we were doing at the Vancouver Convention Center, and on the right, that's the Fairmont Pacific Rim. We played there during the Jazz Festival. Some other types of events that we do is, I also do play rock and roll and other styles of music as well, but part of my business as well is to source music for other types of events. So that could be everything from a classical string trio to a harvest or a, Middle Eastern type music group, and for all kinds of different functions, whatever the need may be. This image on the left is a event of note that we did last summer on a private island in just outside Deep Cove. This is Grey Rocks Island, and there's a wedding cocktail reception that we did there. And then on the right, you may have recalled last summer I mentioned doing this event at the Orpheum Theatre, and this was a engagement party. Yes, somebody booked the Orpheum to ask his lovely bride-to-be to marry him, and it was quite amazing. At this moment, I do have a guest here, and I'd just like to give her a moment to come share a little bit of her experience working with me. This is Jan Boker.
Good morning, BNI. I'm Jan Volker, and Kristian's been my awesome drum instructor for 2 years on a drum set. And I must say it's a big challenge for him. He has so much patience, but he is so professional and just works with me. Anyway, I'm loving it. But Kristian also played at my 70th birthday. He brought his trio to our house. We had 70 guests, and he was absolutely phenomenal. And I say that because, people mill around, they want to talk, so he quiets the music down. He just knows what to do at the right time. So if you're ever thinking of having a party, which I'm thinking of Mike, for a swing party for at least 100 people, I'm going to recommend him for your next party. It can be a small group or a large group, it doesn't matter, and he plays all types of music. His trios are just the best. What else can I say about him? That he is perhaps one of the most versatile people I know. He plays Afro-Cuban beats, he plays rock, he plays everything. And if he can stage your event for you, it would be awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you. And I'd just like to say that my ask this week is to be connected with people in the event planning realm, wedding planners, perhaps couples that are to be married in the coming months, seasons, companies, AGMs, planning perhaps their holiday parties, and social event planners with larger companies. They often have them these days. Perhaps I'd just like to close with another short video, and this was taken from the Orpheum Theatre. So this is kind of more our background music that we can do. Thank you. Thank you.